Ghislaine Maxwell facing up to 65 years in prison after being found guilty of sex trafficking of a minor for Jeffrey Epstein. Let's get more with our legal analysts, Jennifer Rodgers and Paul Callan. Jennifer, let me start with you first. Do you think Maxwell could now flip and give authorities information on others who are involved? There have been some big names, as you know, who have come up, that have come up throughout this saga. What do you think? I mean, would she be much of a help to prosecutors at this point?
Well, she could try to flip, Jim. I don't anticipate that will happen, though, for a few reasons. One is that she has to give up a lot, everything, basically. You have to go in and tell them everything you've known, including everything that you've done that's illegal. And I'm not sure prosecutors would want to cooperate her at this point. You know, she had more leverage before she was convicted and facing perhaps the rest of her life in prison. The other issue is that what can she cooperate on? You know, even if she's willing to give up names of people who were involved with these girls, she would have to do more than that for them to cooperate her. She would have to give up chargeable cases. So, you know, it's just tough here where we don't know if these men were involved at all, and if they were involved in criminal activity, whether they were involved in federal criminal activity of the sort that Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein were charged with, as opposed to state charges like statutory rape or sexual abuse.
And Paul Callan, what do you think? Does Maxwell likely have information she could offer? Or, as Jennifer was saying, would it have to be more than that? I suppose they would need evidence to move on, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they would need evidence, and they have a statute of limitations problem also. I mean, she may have great evidence on something that happened way back in Florida 25 years ago, but it may not be within the statute of limitations. So regardless of how big a figure she might be able to incriminate, it might not be usable. The second thing is, remember, she had a horrible time in prison pre-trial. They were in court 5 or 6 times trying to get her bail lowered and never succeeded at it. And I think she would have given up any information that she had at that point to get out of jail. That was her get out of jail card. She never played it then. So to me, it doesn't look like she's got a get out of jail card.
And Jennifer, we just have a little bit of time left. I wonder what you make of the fact that right now the only person being punished in this sex trafficking ring is a woman. Not to downplay Maxwell's guilt, but she was not alone in this.
Well, certainly not. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein obviously was charged first, but then died by suicide. He's the one who got away in that sense in terms of criminal liability. But listen, she was the number 2. You really can't do this without a woman, to be honest, because she had to groom and find and entice them. So she was really a big fish here.
Fascinating. All right, Jennifer Rodgers, Paul Callan, thanks so much. I'm Jim Acosta. Thanks very